এখন আমাদের প্রধান অতিথির দেশনা। Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi is an American Buddhist monk from New York City. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1944. He obtained a BA in philosophy from Brooklyn College in 1966 and a PhD in philosophy from Claremont Graduate School in 1972. Drawn to Buddhism in his early 20th century, after completing his university studies, he traveled to Sri Lanka, where he received novice ordination in 1972 and full ordination in 1973. Both under the late Venerable Ananda Matriya, the leading Sri Lankan scholar monk of recent times. He was appointed editor of the Buddhist Publication Society in Sri Lanka in 1984 and its president in 1988. Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi was many important publications to his credit, either as editor, translator, or editor including the Buddha, a translation of the Majjhima Nikaya, co-translated with Venerable Bhikkhu Yanamuni in 1995. The Connected Discourses of the Buddha, a new translation of the Samyutta Nikaya, 2000. In the Buddha's World, 2005. In May 2000, he gave the keynote address at the United Nations on his first official celebration of Vihara, the day of the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing away. He returned to the US in 2002. He currently resides at Chongya Monastery, upstate, and teaches there and at Bodhi Monastery. He is currently the founder of Buddhist Global Relief Organization. Now I would like to invite our chief guest, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, to deliver his Dhamma talk, please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Venerable members of the Sangha and dear friends, first I would like to thank Venerable Satyananda for inviting me to be the honorary guest at the Kathina ceremony that he's holding here today. I think I first met Venerable Satyananda when I was teaching Pali in Chongya Monastery. And back in those days, several years ago, he used to come, I think every week he used to come for my Pali class in person. And then later, when it was more difficult for him to travel, he would come to the class through the internet, through Zoom. At a certain point, about 2 years ago, he told me that when he would come to my Pali class, he used to tell me that he was living in a Cambodian temple in the Bronx. But about 2 years ago, he told me that he was going to establish his own meditation center in Queens. And I was very happy to hear this, and I encouraged him to develop this center. It's very important, I think, for Buddhist people from different ethnic communities to have a temple or a center which is presided over by monks of their own ethnic background and who can speak their own language. And so I think it's a great asset, a great benefit for the Bangladeshi community living in New York City, particularly those in Queens and Long Island, to have Venerable Satyananda and the Brahma Vihara Meditation Center as the core or center for their religious and spiritual life. You know, in ancient times, when the Buddha first took on his first 60 Arahat disciples, after the first rains retreat, he sent them out throughout the state of Magadha or Bihar in India, telling them to go forth, O monks, and wander for the welfare of many people, for the happiness of many people, for the good welfare and happiness of all human beings. And so through the centuries, from ancient times to modern times, Buddhist monks have traveled all over the world in order to spread the Dharma. In the early centuries, they spread out from the state of Magadha to other states in India to propagate the Dharma. Then they traveled from India down to Sri Lanka, then from India across the deserts to China, and over the Himalayan mountains to Tibet, all for the purpose of propagating the Dhamma, spreading the Dhamma. And now that people from Asian countries have settled in Western countries, including the United States, including New York City, it's essential to have Buddhist monks who come to the U.S., come to New York, in order to establish and to teach the Dhamma. And so for you who are from the Bangladesh, and to most of you who speak Bengali, it's a great benefit, great asset for you to have Venerable Satyananda as the founder of the Brahma Vihara Meditation Center. And so it's extremely important for you to help to support Venerable Satyananda, because the monk cannot do all of the work himself. The success of the Dharma, the success of the Sasana, the Buddha's teaching, depends on the cooperation, the collaboration of the monks and the lay community. It's the duty of the monk to teach the lay community, to teach the principles of the Buddha's teaching, to teach the Dharma. And it's the duty of the lay community to provide the monks with their basic requisites, in the traditional terms, with robes, food, the dwelling place, medicines, and other things that are needed to operate the temple or meditation center. And so it's just like two hands washing each other. If we just have one hand, we can't wash either hand. But if we have the two hands rubbing against each other with some soap between them, then we can wash both hands. In the same way, the success of the Buddha Dharma in a particular place depends on the collaboration, the cooperation of the monastics and the lay community. And so Venerable Satyananda has come here to New York City, to the borough of Queens, and established this meditation center. And from what I understand, he works very hard, very diligently to teach the Dhamma in two languages, To the adult community, he speaks in Bengali, and for the children, he teaches in English. And so that's an extremely valuable asset. If you just have a Bangladeshi monk who just speaks Bengali, then he can teach the adults, but who is going to teach the children? He won't be able to teach the children. This is a problem faced by many Asian Buddhist communities here in the United States today, because the adults speak the original language of their country, the native language of their country. They invite monks who come. The monks can only speak the native language, not English. And the children grow up more comfortable with English than with the native language. And so in this way, because the monks can't speak English, and the children can only understand only a very simple form of the native language, the monks are not able to teach the children. And yet it's extremely, crucially important for you to ensure that your children, that these children here, are able to learn the Dharma, to learn Buddhism, to continue their Buddhist heritage. Otherwise, if they don't learn the Buddha Dharma in English, they'll either grow up when they reach maturity, their teen years, their college years, they just give up on religion altogether. Or maybe they see the other Americans following Christianity or Judaism or some other religion, so they'll convert from Buddhism to another religion. And so, from our point of view, because we're Buddhists, we think it's extremely critical that the children also learn Buddhism in their young years, so that when they become adults, they will remain committed to following the Buddha's teaching. And so why do we say it's so important to maintain and preserve the Buddha's teaching? It's not because Buddhism is some cultural feature of a traditional heritage that we want to keep. It's not like maybe you wear, when you come to the temple, you wear the traditional Bengali sari, and it doesn't make really a big difference if you decide in later generations, the children give up the saris, the girls give up the sari to put on jeans and shirts or skirts and blouses. That's not so critical. So Buddhism is not just a cultural feature of your original heritage, but we believe that Buddhism is so critically important because the Buddhism is the way to the highest happiness, true peace, and the realization, the attainment of the true good, the true purpose of human life. What is the purpose of human life? Most people, ordinary people, think the purpose of life is to make money, to get rich. And so you find people working very hard to earn thousands and thousands of dollars. When they get hundreds of thousands, when they become a millionaire, they're still not satisfied. They want to become a billionaire. When you become a billionaire, you're still not satisfied. You have to get 10 billion, 20 billion. But there's no end to the desire for wealth. Maybe some people think the aim of human life to become famous. So you become, everybody knows your name, you become a movie star, rock star, sports star. But so many of these movie stars, sports stars, rock stars have minds that are full of stress, full of worry. Some of them, they can't sleep at night, so they have to take sleeping pills. Then to keep active during the day, they have to take another kind of drug to keep them active and alert. And so fame and popularity and success is not the secret to happiness. So for Buddhists, the secret to happiness the way to happiness is to lead a life governed by the Dharma. What does the Dharma mean? The word Dharma. The word Dharma doesn't mean Buddhism, but the word Dharma means that which supports, that which keeps us up and protects us from falling down. And so we say the Buddha teaches the Dharma not because he just creates the Dharma himself, but the Buddha discovers what is the way of life, the principles of life that will support us, sustain us, and help us to realize true happiness, true well-being, true wisdom, to live a happy life here and now, to live a happy life in the future, and to attain the ultimate goal of the Dharma, which is the attainment of Nibbana, Nirvana. So often we speak in Buddhism about 3 kinds of benefits of living by Dharma. What are these 3 kinds of benefits? The first is the benefit that we could see right here and now in this present life. We call this the Dita Dhamma Sukha Vihara, Hita Sukha, well-being and happiness that's visible in this present life. And this kind of happiness comes when one lives in accordance with the principles of generosity, ethics, and loving kindness. Usually people want to gain things and acquire things for themselves, possessiveness. That happens because of greed. And the Buddha teaches that when we live driven by greed, we can never find happiness. So the way to overcome greed is by the practice of generosity. When we give to others, when we help others, when we share what we have with others, then we open up the heart and we let a kind of lightness come into our heart, into our mind, and that practice of generosity we find gives happiness, and you can experience real happiness right here and now. So even if you give in a very simple way, doesn't matter whether you give a lot or a little, but when you practice giving, you'll find that it weakens the grip of greed on the heart and makes the mind light, smooth, and happy. So find some opportunity to give to worthy causes. And of course, within the Buddhist tradition, the most important form of giving is to practice giving to support the temple or the monastery. And I'm not saying this just because I'm a friend of Venerable Satyananda and I want to support him, but this is the way that the lay community keeps the lineage of Buddhism alive. And it's when the laity offer the monastics a place to live, a temple, provide periodically when they need new robes, and here in the winter we need other clothing, sweaters and coats, provide every day the monks need food. They'll also need medicines from time to time. So with a heart of faith and devotion to the Buddha Dharma, with a mind of trust and love and devotion to the Sangha, offer to support the temple, the Brahma Vihara Meditation Center, and any other Buddhist temple or meditation center that you're connected with in New York City or around the city. And in this way, you practice the virtue of generosity. You get the benefits that you can experience right here and now, the joy of giving. But it's not enough just to give to support the temple. but also think of poor people, people in need, and practice giving to them. Some years ago, Venerable Sachinanda mentioned this. 11 years ago, together with some of my friends and students, we decided that it was important for us as Buddhists to help poor people around the world. And so we formed an organization that we call Buddhist Global Relief, with a special mission of helping communities around the world that are suffering from chronic hunger, from shortage of food, from malnutrition. And we started with just about $20,000 in the bank and with 3 projects. And over the years, our organization has developed year by year. So now we have an annual income from donations of about $600,000 a year. And we have 40 projects in countries all over the world, including, I think, about 3 projects in Bangladesh, with one organization called Monagar, which runs a school for orphan children, another project called Visakha Girls' School, providing meals to girls, poor girls from very poor families, and a project with the, I think it's called the Buddhist Social Service Organization, run by a Bangladeshi monk named Venerable Jivananda, who has an orphanage, and we provide meals for the children in that orphanage. And so, establishing that organization has given me a great deal of happiness because of the thought that through this organization, I'm able to help hungry people, especially poor girls going to school, help them get an education, learn, succeed in their school, and become able to take an established position in their society through their education. Okay, so practice of giving is a way to practice the Dhamma, a way that brings joy and happiness, visible in this life itself. Another important principle of the Dhamma that brings happiness here and now is to observe precepts, the siddhis. So we take 5 precepts, usually every day we try to observe 5 precepts, not to kill, and that means not even to kill animals or insects. And so when we take the precept to avoid killing, it means we are ensuring that all of the living beings, human and non-human beings, will be safe in our presence, and we're not harming anyone. Not to steal, to take the belongings of others, not to commit sexual misconduct, not to speak falsely, but to tell the truth, and not to use intoxicants. So when you observe these 5 precepts, then you're protecting yourself. First of all, you're protecting yourself, because these precepts are protecting you from committing unwholesome karma. Karma that has the capacity to bring lower rebirths in the future. And when you observe these 5 precepts and strongly commit to them, you generate a great amount of merit that has the capacity to bring success in the future and to lead to happy rebirths and eventually to lead to Nirvana. But in developing the Dharma, we have to go further. It's not enough just to practice giving, not enough just to observe precepts, but we also have to develop the mind. The Buddha teaches that the mind is the source of all bad, all that is evil. The mind is the source of all that is good. And so it's essential as a practicing Buddhist is to devote some time every day, even if it's just 10 minutes, to sit quietly and to focus the mind in developing some subject of meditation. And since you're affiliated with the Brahma Vihara Meditation Center, so one of the methods of practice that you can use is the practice of what we call the Brahma Viharas. What does the Brahma Vihara mean? The word means the dwelling place of God. Brahma is God in the ancient Indian belief, and it's believed that the gods, that Brahma, lives in 4 qualities. Those 4 qualities are boundless loving kindness, boundless compassion, boundless altruistic joy, boundless equanimity or impartiality. So start off the starting point for the 4 Brahma Viharas is loving kindness. So to practice loving kindness, one generates the thought, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be safe, may all beings be successful. So each day you should devote a period of time. First you worship the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and then just set your alarm. If you're not experienced in meditation, just begin with 10 minutes or even 5 minutes and just sit and don't repeat the mechanical formula, but focus on the meaning, generating the thought, may my friends be well and happy, may they be safe, may they be peaceful. May my neighbors be well, may they be happy, may they be peaceful. May all beings everywhere be well, may they be happy, may they be safe, may they be peaceful. And when you develop this mind of loving kindness, you'll find little by little it starts to have such a beneficial influence on yourself and on everyone around you. When you practice the loving kindness, you find that your anger starts to get weaker and weaker. In the past, before I became a monk, I used to get angry so easily. So if somebody said something that was disagreeable to me, I would just be like an atom bomb exploding, getting so angry so quickly. But after I became a monk and learned Buddhism, I started to practice the meditation on loving kindness, and now I hardly ever get angry at all. Sometimes I do, but very seldom. So first, it protects yourself because you find your anger goes down and your goodwill towards everybody around you increases. And then it has a positive impact on everyone around you, because when you practice loving kindness, even if you don't tell other people, but other people start to feel the influence, the vibrations coming from your mind. People will start to think, he's such a nice guy. Such a lovely woman. This is all coming because you're changing your mind. You're filling your mind with love, with kindness, with goodness. And so this is developing 3 kinds of practices: generosity, sila or good behavior, and bhavana, the meditation through the practice of the Brahma Viharas. And as supporters of the Brahma Vihara Meditation Center, it's extremely important also, not only that you support the temple, but that you do so in harmony with each other. Because when a group of people gets together, even a group who wants to support a monastery or meditation center, it's easy for them to have different opinions about how to do things. So one group says, I want to do things this way to help the monastery. Then these people say, no, we should do it that way. And so then they form different opinions, they start quarreling and fighting amongst themselves, and that creates a lot of trouble for themselves and trouble for the monastery or the temple. So it's important to develop a mind of loving kindness towards your fellow supporters of the temple, your fellow dietas, so that you live together and work together in harmony. And in this way, you will be successful, the monastery will be successful, and the benefits of the monastery will pass from you to your children through the teaching and guidance of Venerable Satchidananda. So for all these reasons, I want to urge you in harmony to continue to support this meditation center and to ensure that it becomes a beam of light for the Bangladeshi Buddhists in the greater New York area. Thank you very much, and may you all bless you.
সম্মানিত সদ্দর্বের প্রতিনিধিগণ, আমাদের সদ্য প্রদর্শন এখানে শেষ। এখন আমরা অল্প কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যে আমাদের অনুষ্ঠান সমাপ্ত ঘোষণা করব। এখানে যারা পান্থের সদ্য প্রদর্শনা বুঝতে পারেননি, অনেক কোন নির্দেশনা করেছেন, আমি সংক্ষেপে তিনি কি বলেছেন তাদেরকে আমি একটু বলবো। তিনি প্রথমে বলেছেন, আমি সত্যানন্দ ভিক্ষুকে প্রথমে চৌনিয়ার মনেস্ট্রিতে আমি দেখেছি আমার পালি ক্লাসের মধ্যে। এর কয়েক বছর পরে ওনার কাছ থেকে আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম, তুমি কোথায় থাকো? তখন সে আমাকে বলেছিল, আমি কম্বোডিয়ান বিহারে থাকি। এর কয়েক বছর পরে সে আমাকে বলল সে একটি প্রতিষ্ঠা করতে যাচ্ছে কুইন্সের মধ্যে। এটা শুনে আমি খুব আনন্দিত হয়েছি। তিনি আরো বলেছেন, আপনারা অত্যন্ত ভাগ্যবান, অত্যন্ত পুণ্যবান, আপনারা বেনারস সত্যানন্দকে এখানে পেয়েছেন, যিনি দুটি ভাষা জানে, বাংলায় দেশনা করতে পারে এবং ইংরেজিতে আমাদের নতুন প্রজন্মদেরকে শিক্ষা দিতে পারে। সুতরাং অধিকাংশ বিহারের মধ্যে দেখা যায় যারা এশিয়া থেকে আমেরিকা এসেছেন, তারা শুধু বাংলায় ধর্ম প্রচার করে। তিনি ধর্মগ্রন্থ থেকে একটি কথা বলেছেন, ভগবান বুদ্ধের সময় ভগবান বুদ্ধ 500 ভিক্ষুকে বলেছিলেন, হে ভিক্ষুগণ, তোমরা চতুর্দিকে ছড়িয়ে পড়ো, মানুষের মঙ্গলের জন্য, মানুষের কল্যাণের জন্য তোমরা ধর্ম প্রচার করো। এবং তিনি আরেকটি কথা বলেছেন, ধর্ম শব্দের অর্থ কি? ধর্ম শব্দ হচ্ছে এমন একটি জিনিস যে ধর্ম আমাদেরকে সবসময় রক্ষা করে, এবং এই ধর্ম যদি আমরা অনুশীলন করি, চর্চা করি, এই ধর্ম আমাদেরকে রক্ষা করবে। তেনারা বলেছেন, আপনারা সকলেই সত্যানন্দ ভিক্ষুকে সাপোর্ট করবে, কারণ আপনাদের সহযোগিতা ছাড়া একজন বৌদ্ধ ভিক্ষু চলতে পারে না। আপনারা সকলেই সত্যানন্দ ভিক্ষুকে চতুর্পৈত্য দান করবেন, এবং আপনাদের চতুর্পৈত্য যদি পায়, সত্যানন্দ ভিক্ষু আপনাদেরকে ধর্ম দান করতে পারবে, আপনাদের নতুন প্রজন্মদেরকে শিক্ষা দান করতে পারবে। তিনি আরো অনেক কিছু বলেছেন, আমাদের সময় খুব কম, আমি আর এদিকে কথা যাচ্ছি না। পরিশেষে আপনাদের সকলের মঙ্গল কামনা করে এখানে ওনার অনুবাদ সমাপ্তি করছি।